I put this on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, Hawaii. Like, I'm sitting there, like, I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm going to, like, be all over my Instagram stories and, yada, yada, yada.
Sure.
And keep in mind, I still have to, I guess, bought my 74, 75-hour, 72-hour course for real estate.
Yep.
And I put it off for a month, so I have 2 months to, like, complete it.
So let's jump back. How long are you going to be in Hawaii for?
10 days.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 days. So I'm like, am I going to be able to do this? I guess I'm going to need to do it, I guess.
So advice from the old man.
Yeah, please.
Right? Who will be 48. I get it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm like you, wired, want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Ugh, how am I going to do it? Best advice I can give you is that I've often said, like, we're going on vacation. And, hey, like, we're big boys now, right? We have wives.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll say, like, hey, I'm going to do that. And then I can get so wrapped up into it and then regret when I get home not just doing nothing and being present for the moment.
Right.
And then looking back, like, man, were those posts really that important? Where all of a sudden I think my wife might think, like, holy cow, you couldn't stop that.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So I think, hey, we're wired to check. I think you should go into it with healthy boundaries, like, hey, for a half an hour a day, afternoon, I'm going to do it because I need to, and then I'm going to have to preoccupy my time on the rest, because you might just end up, losing to the war here.
Right.
And then coming back with your wife being like, man, we went to Hawaii. We're not going back there for 5 years, and you just spent the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. This is just my I'd think it through.
Yeah, for sure. I'm, you sitting there saying that, I've been thinking about bringing the camera with me just because I'm like, I could get some content while I'm there, maybe bring one of my wireless mics, shoot a quick video on the beach. You saying that right there, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave all that back.
Yeah, or put it in maybe say to your wife, hey, are you cool to have fun on day? Like, when you go to eat, maybe you can actually do a story on the food scene, the local food scene in Hawaii, as long as it's part of it. But it's got to have a time and end.
Right. Yeah.
I've never had a checkout point.
Yeah.
Right, which ends up flowing into everyone else's time.
Right. Yeah.
So that's all.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But listen, I don't know if you want to get your best advice from me. Yeah, I can't listen to it sometimes. But yeah.
Do you ever like run? I think of, I've never wanted to live my life for a job. Rebecca and I went out to dinner last night, and actually by the time we'll be in Hawaii when this episode comes out. So, I'm leaving Cafe Cabal, going to work at Gearhars as the marketing director.
Yep.
Right.
Congrats.
Thank
awesome.
You. Yep. And last night we went out to dinner at Amano. Phenomenal, by the way.
Great.
Amazing. One of the in the top 4 best restaurants in Syracuse.
Yep. Yep.
And Rebecca was like, "Oh, it's our celebrating your new job." And my first response was, I hope life isn't so pathetic that we have to celebrate a new job.
Yep.
Or some,
Sure.
I was like, it's like, I don't want to celebrate a new job.
Yep.
And yet at the same time, I work probably 18 hours a day.
Yep.
I just think of, like, there's times where I think of, my mindset is I'm building something for the future, kids. When my kids are 13, 14, 15, I don't want to be working. I want to make, my money now and kind of get set.
Yep.
And then be able to spend time with them. And then I also think, like, just relax, like, just enjoy everything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, how do you deal? Like,
So here's my best.
Yeah.
People, and this is just my personal opinion on life. People that are wired to want to work, like guys and females and wives and women that work 17 hours a day and enjoy it, have a very difficult time. We all say, well, we're doing that now so we can reap the benefits one day and sit. You're already getting anxious about going to Hawaii, all right? So let's stop pretending. Really what's going to happen is you're going to work, and you're going to work harder because we really enjoy working.
Yeah.
Right? Which goes back to that time management of, hey, it's okay to work because my father came here from Italy, didn't know how to read or write English to the day he died.
Wow.
Worked at LA Chemical, and just when he left work, he would go out and take side jobs like fixing things and building things and building out. To the day he used to say to me, and I never understood it, like, son, the day I stop working is the day that I don't need to be here because he found a value, right? So I would say you're right. The goal would be we obtain some assets so we can retire and be around for our grandchildren and children.
Yeah.
Chances are, Anthony, you'll be just as bored then as you might be, right? And if we learn how to and I'm guilty.
Yeah.
I'm still in the learning process, right?
Yeah.
If we can learn how to just time manage it all, we don't really have to stop working, because if it's something we would love to do and we're passionate about it and it brings us joy, well, then why just cut that out as well?
Yeah.
And the people that are lazy now that say, well, I'm just whatever, they'll probably still be lazy.
Yeah. Right.
So for me, like you, sometimes it's not like you said that you're up 18 hours, on Sundays you're doing it. It's, there's something. Yeah. I'm sure you're not like, oh, I got it. Like, there's value.
When I first started doing the marketing, there was, a buddy of mine and I started Keystone Media, which is still the official name of the business. And probably 4.5 years ago. And we were just sitting at work, making a great living, by the way, at Metro Mattress, making way more than I make now.
Sure.
And we were there and was like, we're bored. So we started the social media business. And in that first year, I experienced 3 separate times of just I wanted to throw my phone in the lake and never think about Facebook or Instagram or any of that shit again.
Yeah.
One of those times I actually got in my car at 9 o'clock at night and drove the 4.5 hours up to Lake Placid just to get away by myself, got a hotel, and then drove back home the next day at noon. So I was there, I was there for 14 hours and 10 of them were sleeping, just because I needed that break. I haven't experienced that yet. I tell people it's like smoking. You start smoking cigarettes, first 10 smokes, you're nauseous, you have the headache,
sure,
and that's how I got hooked. Because my cousin back in the day when I was just a kid, he was like, it's this is disgusting. He's like, oh, you just got to smoke through that.
Smoke through the grossness.
Then all of a sudden you're addicted to, to nicotine.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
It's the same thing with doing this, I found. After that first year, those couple moments, now it's don't even notice it,
Yep.
So I wake up, we started January 1st. We're we got to get healthier, right? So we wake up at 5 every morning, go to the gym, get on the elliptical for 30 minutes, get back, home around 6:15, whatever. And immediately it's on my phone, checking the accounts, responding to comments, in between brushing my teeth and putting on deodorant, you're making a post, whatever it is. So I haven't I don't want to do this. That hasn't happened in a couple of years,
Good.
Yeah. But that's also could be considered pathetic to a certain extent.
But I think if you're wired to be an entrepreneur, and that can look whatever, right?
Yeah.
Donut shop,
right.
Web, social, we find joy in growth or branding or marketing and growing, like you said, you want to build.
Yeah.
And some people, listen, I value the people that can go to work and I commit, there's times, right?
Yeah.
That all of us entrepreneurs say, man, it must be nice at 5 o'clock on Friday to throw down their apron or their pencil, push in their desk and go home and not think about their business for the whole weekend. It's got to be nice.
Right.
It sounds nice, but for people wired like us, it doesn't work so well.
Yeah.
Right? We need that excitement and joy and passion and stuff like that. So, and to jump back, same position as you, January 1st, time to get healthy.
Yeah.
I think that if we look at real successful individuals on both sides, female, male, they do a really good job saying hey, there's an hour a day for my body, there's an hour a day for my mind. And I think that when you let that go, then it can really create waves for us in everything we do, right? I'll be really candid and humble. When I out of shape, overeat, it's I go on sweatshirt mode.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out. My wife's like, let's go to dinner somewhere. I'm like, well, dinner. If I got to tuck in a shirt, and I'll make up stories. I'm being really honest when I tell you I'm extremely insecure.
Yeah.
It absolutely affects everything down to business.
Yeah, for sure.
Meeting with people, right?
Yeah.
And that's just being really honest, right? So hey, I'm 48. I'm happily married. I got 3 kids. Do I want to go out and be a superstar, like rock star, shirt off?
Yeah.
No. but feeling healthy is important in being a better dad.
Yeah.
And being a better business owner. So you're right. So I'm doing the same thing. Like, hey, I got to carve out.
Yeah.
If we can sit on our phones.
Right. Exactly.
Right. For 15 hours looking at everyone else's messes.
Yeah.
Then shame on us for not being able to carve out a half an hour or 45 minutes for ourselves. So that's something I think that I'm thankful we're both obviously starting to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was just, I'm thinking to myself, like, there's going to come a point where something's going to happen, I mean, going out to eat as much as I do, and I can make the excuse it's for content all I want to, but at the same time, I could probably message all these restaurants and say I'm going to come to a free photo shoot and not eat anything instead of just going out to eat all the time.
Yeah.
But I was like, there's going to come a point where it's just going to get, too ridiculous. It already is to a certain extent. Like, I'm not looking forward to getting on a plane, so for 14 hours. And, so I was just like, yeah, we have to do something. And Rebecca has been great at it. Rebecca does a phenomenal job she's had a personal trainer for like the last, 2 years, it feels like, and she does a really great job with it. And it's, for her as a dietitian, it's always about balance and that kind of stuff. So I think that's why she's such a good compliment, because she is that type of person who can go out and succeed at her job, at her profession, and then come home and put it down and do other stuff, so.
And there's something for us to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife hits the bed, she closes her eyes, and she's snoring, and I'm so jealous, right? And then I'll check my phone.
Yeah.
And she's right. She's like, well, how do you think you're going to go to bed? Like, you're so wired. Like, what was that important?
Yeah.
And I don't have a good answer. The good answer is there is nothing really that important.
Right.
And then I wonder why I can't sleep.
Yeah.
So there's something I think that we can learn a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes people that aren't wired to be an entrepreneur that work 9 to 5 sometimes wish they didn't have that structure, and they wish they can flow into our, move over into our lane.
Yeah.
But we're in our lanes for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
man. Have you always been like this with like the hustle and the drive and all that stuff, or was it something that you've noticed has come on later in life?
So I've always had that's a great question, because I've actually thought about that recently. I've always had desire to, like, for branding and building and ideas to be an entrepreneur, always.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I wanted to take the A to Z approach on a lot of things, right? So I was like this hustler, but didn't want to apply the work ethic and the necessities of what it takes.
Yeah.
So when I went through my 20s and 30s, and then you start to realize, like, there's no successful individual that hasn't, like, sweat.
Yeah.
I mean, besides winning the lottery, like, successful people work hard. So it's probably like in the last 10 years where the hustle's moved into, okay, there's one thing to hustle, there's another thing to, like, hustle with purpose and clarity and focus and understanding we're all going to have hiccups.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, most people that don't know me would say he's always has an idea.
Yeah.
Like, he's always been an idea guy, or I've always was the guy that friends would call me and say, hey, come up with a name for this restaurant. Or, I've always been that guy.
Yeah.
I guess, to a degree. Recently, in the last 2 years, I feel like I'm on this, like, ride, and I want to hit the eject button, and I want to grow Glazed to other markets. But I've been patient enough because I really wanted to learn the industry.
Yeah.
See where trends were going. See what makes sense. Like, does it make sense for us to have another store in Syracuse, or drive through, or add more coffee?
Yeah.
I've been more patient than I've ever had because I don't want to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And we're all going to make mistakes.
All right.
So, but I think I have, like, this, like, engine that's, like, behind me.
Yeah.
And I think eventually I'll let my foot off the gas and head in that direction. But so that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Because, like, 10 years ago, would you say that you would have already had a second Glazed location by now?
10 years ago, I would have tried to open up 3 in a month and failed, right? Again, I want to go from A to Z, and after all.
Yeah.
So, I've come to good grips that I think that our growth pattern looks like one boutique store per market for several reasons. Like, we're not Dunkin' Donuts. We never want to be Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
We're specialty. 95% of our revenue comes from donuts and not coffee.
Yeah.
I like smaller storefronts.
Yeah.
When we're slow, we don't feel the pressure like some do.
Yeah.
And I think that if we do our job really connecting with the community, that, it would, if I was going to put my money in, and soon I will, I think a shop like in Rochester in the city, serving those communities and hopefully becoming a destination for what happens now, right, Anthony, is we get hopefully the business individuals during the week. And then right now on Saturday afternoon morning at 11:30, we find ourselves driving families from DeWitt, Kaz, Camillus. Well, if I always felt like if I open up a Kaz store or a DeWitt store, well, I lose that market. I'm still paying double rent.
Yeah.
No one's complaining about driving downtown once. We've become like the Columbus Bakery destination. We're starting a new an event. We're starting Pajama Saturdays for kids.
Cool.
Come down with pajamas and it's free donuts just to build some traditions.
Yeah.
So I see that.
Yeah.
Whether that's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
I'll start there.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, oh my God, my wife's saying, wait, we're doing what? I'm signing leases. I'm not thinking about it. So I think I've been patient. It's been, we just celebrated 2 years.
Yeah.
I think hopefully now I've learned a little bit.
Yeah.
And some of it's faith, right? And some of it's just jumping and going.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah, it's I can't imagine like being in an industry or having a business. Like mine's great. I mean, doing this is phenomenal. It's all online. If I want to do something, what's really going to cost me?
True.
I mean, I build a website. That's great. Those are 30-day free trials. You know what I mean? Like
true.
Some Facebook ads. To really think about somebody who's taking real risk by signing a lease, buying equipment, hiring people, because you can't run the donut shop by yourself, right?
Yeah, you need buy-in from staff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
I can't imagine being in position to take that amount of risk.
Yeah, and listen, we try to minimize the risk, calculate there's some. I think we're going to add, and I've always wanted to be able to drop ship our donuts and have an internet side. They just don't serve well, right? You can't ship them out. I think we're starting the mini madness on Wednesdays, the little mini platters for people to try flavors. We're calling it like Guiltless Wednesdays. So
that's cool.
Because after all, I mean, the mini's so little, there's no calories in it, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think that they would lend themselves to ship just so we can have another side of our business when things get slow.
Yeah.
But those, things in the works, I think all of us, including yourself, always navigate towards, hey, let's try this or try that. But you're right. I mean, again, years ago, like you said, I was signing the lease before I knew anything.
Yeah.
Because I was just hungry.
Yeah.
Somewhat so. And there's still risk. Go to Rochester. Hey, my biggest fear is, and I learned this. So when Dinosaur, right?
Yeah.
Pros.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Pros, right? They went to Buffalo. Before they had a brick and mortar store, they won the Wing Fest in Buffalo. And a lot of Buffalo, we're like, whoa.
Right.
This is our market. You're there. And they had a tough time breaking into the market. So wherever we go, wherever we land, we want to be a good community partner. We're not going there to say we're the best bakery.
Right.
We just do things different. I don't want to be like there's a great donut shop in Rochester called Donuts Delight. Yeah. I don't want to go there and compete with Donuts Delight.
Right.
We want to add to the experience for families, be their partner, work together, be really humble that we don't think we're any better.
Yeah.
Because I think that that's the only thing I get concerned about. I trust our product and I trust that we'll have great service and we'll look fun. But sometimes some markets won't reach out and hug you.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're not local.
Oh yeah.
So part of that growth, that one shop is to be as local, separate. That would be Glazed Roch, but rock.com. So it's not.
All right.
And hopefully, that's a winning formula. But I guess time will tell.
I mean, how do you think? Is there ever going to be a time where you think you'll slow down? as you're getting older. As you get older, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. Not like next year, Paul. I mean,
well, I think I heard you saying, right? So let me say this. This is good. This is good therapy, right? I think I heard you saying, hey, on January 1st, we realized that we needed to change because if I kept going in this direction, there'd be some danger zones. Right?
Yeah.
Will I always be pretty much hustling, crazy, wired more than most? Probably, unless it affects me. So that's why I guess the game plan now is to like incorporate some of these time management skills.
Yeah.
Try to press the pause button every once in a while to like make sure I'm not missing stuff. I can't see that listen, I'm like you. So my wife's a big beach girl. I mean, it is amazing. We go to Rehoboth Beach every year, Dewey Beach. She can literally, Anthony, 7 a.m, she smiles. She's so excited to be there. She throws her bag together. She's at the beach, and she can literally sit in one spot and listen to the waves till 5 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I sit there. I'm there for 15 minutes. And I start to, like, my feet. I'm walking around. I'm waiting for, like, I want a guy to come bring me soda. Like, it's really bad, right? So do I think she'll ever understand how my brain works? Like, no.
Yeah.
Do I think the reverse? She'll never. But listen, it's got to come a point where I should be able to appreciate an hour on the beach.
Right.
So I don't know if I'll ever be able to contain that entrepreneurial side that just loves creating.
Yeah. Right.
Hopefully I don't spend so much time creating that I miss on some other things in life.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like your new plan in January and mine, to be able to just say, hey, I got to stop creating sometimes. It's okay to just be in the moment.
Yeah.
And then I would say, so to answer that question, I would say probably not. I don't see myself slowing down.
Yeah.
But I would hopefully that I can continue at this pace, like in a healthy, man, nothing excites. Like having conversation about business and growth is like, right? Yeah. For us, it's like we could sit here all day.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So it's that stuff is that's why we live. I mean, it's part of it's part of who we are.
I don't know what it is about me. I really just enjoy being a part of the conversations. I really enjoy doing it. I mean, I just picked up a new account and 3 weeks ago, and they have completely booked like 2 months of events that they just started happening. And I love the fact that they're giving me all the credit for it. I don't know if it is all attributed to me or not, but I'll take it, right?
Sure.
So I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love being able to go do something for someone. I don't know what it is about me that, maybe it's ego, whatever it is. Maybe it's because I am, a little bit of a narcissist sometimes. And
I'm a lot of a narcissist. So yeah, sure. Yeah.
I like to have people talking about me and saying good things, but there's just something about like that one thing will drive me to go try and pick up another 2 or 3 clients, you know? And I mean, listen, I have, the diner, I've been doing Tony's social for 4 years now. The first year that they did it, huge increase. I still talk about that. It was 4 years ago, that thing from 4 years ago still drives me to continue to do it for more people. Granted, 4 years is nothing in the grand scheme of things. 4 years is no time at all. But there's just something about that makes me want to keep, going harder with it. I don't know what it is, but I would just wonder if Eat Local CNY ends. Is the goal with this business is either to get it to a point where 100,000 people buy a card every year, with just like they do the coupon books, and they go out and support local restaurants, or the goal is to have somebody bigger come in and buy me. I mean, that's what I would love to happen, for this business. But if one of those things ever happen, I just wonder if I'll be able to just go off and do something else,
That's a tough question.
Yeah. I mean, I like to play video games, but I don't know if I can do it.
Yep. The truth is, right? We've probably heard this a million times. Like everything in moderation is okay, down to eating donuts.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, everyone likes, oh no, it's January 1st and no one's gonna eat them. It's like it's okay. You can
Yeah.
have a donut. And you know, listen, the good part about life is it's a journey, and that we get to figure out hopefully some of this stuff as we go. I can't see you or me or anyone else that's wired similar to us not being bored when we're not doing our stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's just the way it goes. If we were any different, we would go and do things that were a little different, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, listen, things like, and this is just recent conversations, like Toys R Us, like being the number one toy retailer, not changing through times, not jumping online.
Yeah.
And then slowly fizzling away and losing to Amazon and all the retailers really make me excited to talk about.
Yeah.
Because that's the stuff, right? We can all have, like, Eat Local CNY can be this awesome entity.
Yeah.
But if we're not consistently looking down the road, we're just going to get stale.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And there's always somebody else that's a 25-year-old hungry entrepreneur over our shoulder that might be a little bit smarter and a little bit wants to work a little bit more when we get lazier.
Yeah.
And you can miss opportunities.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's super important for all of us to make sure that we're looking far ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I haven't launched a keto donut for one reason. We haven't need to launch the keto donut yet. Right? Now, listen, some people are disappointed. Some people are like, well, come on.
Yeah.
It's almost like I feel like I'm holding on to it in my back pocket. So when I see a little dip in donuts, then because for now I don't want to like inject something that's not necessary. Some people would say, well, that's crazy. That's hogwash. Like, stop.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I have a plan for when we have a dip, something else that may be able to like inject a little bit of life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's I guess, you know, the question is it something that you have to do now to like build that reputation for it though?
True.
Probably not with the keto donut because one thing I've experienced is that from working with Dolce is that kind of like you get that hit, but it's really hard to sustain people that are eating keto that will continually come back in.
No doubt about it. I agree. It's like, you know, everyone, this is great. I don't know if you've heard this with any of your clients, but it seems like everyone thinks that we're all missing, all of our retailers, all of us restaurateurs are missing millions of dollars with SU kids. I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if you were open at 12 o'clock at night, do you know how much business? It's like, I don't necessarily know if that's true.
Yeah.
Like those kids are programmed to be on campus, get Grubhub.
Right.
Like they're not, now listen, is there a market there? Sure. We could all take a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it the end of the rainbow gold mine that everyone talks about? You know, I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree. Years ago, when there was only a couple of restaurant options for them, that's different.
Yeah.
It's different now.
Right.
It's so different now.
Yeah. Now things can be delivered, so it is completely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an open game. I mean, so we flirted with that. I was thinking about maybe Hump Day Wednesdays being open from 10 o'clock at night till 3 in the morning, only for, not retail, only for delivery, Grubhub, really market the SU students. There's still conversation. I don't know how greedy I really want to be. I think our model fits 7 to 2, and if you want donuts, you'll come down.
Yeah.
But, you know, I can't discount it, or I can't not think about it because, again, you have to constantly evolve and look for revenue streams.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if that's the answer, though.
Probably not. I mean, listen, the first thing I know is I don't want to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So now we're relying on more people and more hours. So, but there's things like that I don't think we should think. I think our best success is to do the event-driven stuff, Pajama Saturdays, you know, and really just focus on the upcoming. Valentine's Day is our biggest day of the year. We're excited that's around
surprising.
The corner. Yeah.
You've said that to me. I'm really surprised.
2 years in a row, that's our number one day.
Wow.
And it's on a Friday this year, so that should help a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I would have thought it would. I guess it kind of it makes sense, but I just would have thought it would have been like a Christmas Eve, you know, day before Thanksgiving, something like that. You know.
So our theme days, right? So for those that aren't familiar that are listening, on 5 days a year. So Christmas Eve is one of them. Halloween is one of them. Easter, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving Day. We take our 12 flavors off the board and we introduce a theme box. So Valentine's Day is 4 flavors. The box of 12 is 3 of each of those 4. So strawberry cheesecake, cherry, stuff like that. That allows us to just really focus on the demand that day because we do get a little, we are busier, but they've really drove like that there's an option for just the theme box. So Thanksgiving Day is like the cranberry apple, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Those are our 5 biggest. So if I were to look at our year, those 5 theme days are the biggest days of the year, right? Holidays by nature, people are out buying, they're bringing stuff. I'm interested to see what tomorrow brings for Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
We're collaborating with OIP for the chicken wing donut.
Yeah.
That's just unique enough.
Do those sell? Because you've done that before, right?
We did it last year and we sold out.
Really?
And here's my thoughts on it. It's just a shock and awe item, I think, where if you're on your way to a Super Bowl party, then maybe you pick up 6 of them just to say, did you see this?
Yeah.
Right? It's like
Does it taste good?
So that's interesting. I had one last year. I'm not a hot sauce guy. Yeah.
Keep in mind this comes out after the Super Bowl, so it won't affect your sales.
I'm not great. I'm not a hot sauce guy. What I will say is, the vanilla cake donut, because we put it in a panini press, ends up tasting like a biscuit anyway.
Okay.
So it's not as awful of contrasting flavors that people think.
That's
cool. It's okay.
Yeah.
Would I eat it? I'll stick to a chocolate cake donut with a lot of Nutella on top. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm a sweet guy.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah. You were talking about time management earlier. And, it's funny, like, Eat Local follows Adam on Instagram. And, he was doing his stories. And this past one that he was doing, he was talking a lot about time management and, like, business and that kind of stuff. And I messaged him. I was like, yeah, what are your time management secrets? I was like, will you share them? And he said, sure. He never shared them. So maybe, yeah. But is there a way to, like, create better time management? Like my solution, my answer, because at Kubala, I had gone down to 4 days a week, and Fridays for the past month have been focused on the business. And so that has given me freedom to not work as much on Sundays, which is Sundays like the one day Rebecca and I don't really do much of anything. We like go to church, grocery shop, go to core, go home, and then I'm typically on the couch editing videos and scheduling stuff. So while the Fridays have given me a little bit more free time on that Sunday, my ultimate solution here has been to hire someone else to come in and take that off my plate, all that posting. So, I mean, is it possible to like add something in that, whether it's better time management or whatever, where you can do it and not, I'm now giving up a third of my profit by hiring this person, which I'm going to be very grateful for. And truthfully, the position deserves maybe even more money than what I'm paying them. But I'm giving up a third of the business's profit right now
for some peace.
Right now, because I don't pull a salary from the business. I never have. I'm okay with it. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, well, now I need to go get another client to kind of get back to that where I was.
Yep.
So, I mean, what have you done for?
Well, let me say this. Let me just start by a disclaimer by saying I've like my grade on time management in 2000 and I'll give it for the decade.
Yeah,
has been a big fat F. Right? It's been bad. First of all, Ed and I are really good friends.
Yeah.
He gets bombarded with text, emails, and he. Believe it or not, responds. You will, and this is interesting because the next time we'll talk, you're going to get a response. It may be in a week, it may be in a month, one day out of the blue, because he goes back and makes sure everyone gets responded. So,
that's wild.
And I think about little, Paul Valenti donut world, what I get hit with versus him because of the magnitude of just his awareness in the community and everyone that wants to reach out to him and some of that celebrity status. So I think it's a difficult position. My answer, I guess, and this is just from being like helicopter up, looking down at me, and for you, I think it's like who's gonna are we gonna take control of our time, or are we gonna let everything around us control our time?
Yeah.
Right? So saying that, if someone said, and If someone said, Paul, I'm going to put a gun to your head, can you carve out 30 minutes today to just sit with your son or your wife and leave your phone? Could you do it? We'd all say, like, of course.
Yeah, right.
But then the question before that would be like, well, why do we have to hold a gun to your head to do stuff that's going to have value?
Right.
So I think that, like you just said, you're going to release some of that piece. You absolutely will find somebody else to fill that spot, right?
Yeah.
But you're releasing some control, so that's not controlling you anymore. Listen, there are people there that aren't good at any of it, and they can let one task take forever. Good multitaskers like us should be able to say, I'm only doing 2 hours, and if there's more, it waits till tomorrow.
Yeah.
My wife has always said to me, and I've always discounted it, and she's so right, but I could never admit it. She's like, that email so for example, I get an email at 8:30 at night from a hospital that wants 20 dozen donuts. My first natural, like you, was like, I got to respond now.
Yeah.
For one, I want them to know that I'm paying attention. For two, this is business, and what if you lose it, right? Yeah. The truth is, because she's always like, hey, listen, no one's dying. You're not a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know if they even have the perception, like someone's going to respond tonight. They probably know that it could wait till tomorrow, right? Like the consumer, she's not telling me to wait 2 days.
Right.
That takes us saying, hey, from 8 listen, it could be 8 o'clock. It doesn't have to be 5 o'clock. Like, we're business owners, right? From 8 on, guess what? Anything that comes in gets answered tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think we let all that stuff control us. We have to do it. We got to do it at 8:30. If I don't get back to them, they're going to think I'm on money. And if I don't have business tomorrow, that's just our anxiety and fears because we want to control the situation, and we're letting that control us and everything else around us.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I keep thinking about this trip to Hawaii and how much I'm not going to do.
Yeah, you're right. So listen, then say, and I think that what I've failed on is I think that if you go to Hawaii having clear boundaries and expectations with your wife, like, hey, just want to let you know how I'm feeling. Yeah. I'm a little anxious about doing nothing. Are you okay with an hour a day? Because I certainly don't want you to come back home and say, I can't believe you spent an hour a day.
Right.
If it's not an hour, let me know. Yeah. Is it a half an hour? Is it not? If she says no, maybe 2 hours. And then you go there and you keep the healthy boundary.
Yeah.
And you find stuff to do after that. And you take long walks. Hey, if you drove to Lake Placid for 4 hours, you can take a long walk in Hawaii. Like, you'll be okay.
Oh, listen, it's not going to be like sitting at the, on the beach or at the pool while she's reading and, and I'm on my phone. We're doing a bunch of stuff while we're there together. And I know the majority of my time won't be doing anything. But for me, it's more so like I keep thinking, I have had this thought of like putting up a post that says out of office and not posting anything. So
you see every once in a while, we'll close for a week. Yeah. For the staff.
Right.
And, I'm the one thinking about everything, still texting them. And my poor staff is like, geez, we're supposed to have a week off and you're texting me donut pictures, right? Yeah. I think that, Anthony, sometimes guys, like, we need to challenge ourselves too and say, I'm going to go there, I'm going to do nothing. And I'm going to spend an hour walking and just taking in the views. Yeah. Or we're going to go and talk to local business owners because that's what I like and that's interesting. And I want to see how the climate is in Hawaii or if it's different. But I think that if you challenge yourself to find things to do, you'll do them. And I think you'll feel if you have healthy boundaries. Yeah. Again, I'm no therapist. Right. I've learned from failing miserably. Yeah. Right. But I know that this year when I go on vacation, it will look differently than every other year I've ever been. Yeah. Because I'm going to hopefully incorporate some of the stuff that we're talking about and realize that it's okay. I'm sitting on the beach for 2 hours because at the end of the day, that's why I'm there. Yeah. Right. And we'll find other stuff to do. Yeah, for sure. That's good. We'll have to get back together after vacation, so I can tell you that I failed miserably at that. Right? Yeah. Right. That's the goal. Yeah, that's for the goal. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, listen, Paul. Thanks so much for coming down, man. When you came in, I was, because with these, I don't like to. The first few I did, I had questions typed out, and I was like ready to go. And the last, probably 20 of these, I haven't. I have nothing prepared when somebody comes in because I don't want to. I just want to sit down and have a conversation and talk and not be like, all right, you answered that. Here's the next question. Yeah. I had no idea what the hell we were going to talk about today. Me neither. I'm glad we talked about this. Yeah, absolutely. I think we both needed it. And It's good, man. I wish you the best on your trip.
Yeah.
I think you'll listen, I had never been to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you live in Syracuse, you're not flying to Hawaii often because of the time. So, man, as a youngin', just enjoy it, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Who knows when you're going to go back, right?
Yeah. We're going to get those Portuguese donuts when we're there.
That's right. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. See, there you go. Do some research and development for me while you're there.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for having me, Anthony.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.